Is the manipulation of matter at the molecular or nano scale. Just to give you an idea, is 5 million nanometers long. A red blood cell is 7,500 nanometers long. Is 2.5 nanometers long. That's small.
The human skeleton gives the body its shape and provides physical support for the systems contained within. It also forms part of the musculoskeletal system that enables us to move. The structure of bone is optimized so that it is strong but relatively lightweight. The interior of bone is composed of bone marrow. It is surrounded by two major types of bone tissue: cortical bone, or the hard outer shell of bone, and trabecular bone, the spongy-looking center. The amount of each type of tissue in bone is dependent on the function of that bone. The basic unit of cortical or compact bone is the osteon. It is composed of successive concentric lamellae. This structure contributes to bone strength by resisting bending. Cells called osteocytes are distributed within the concentric lamellae. Osteocytes form a complex network that is thought to be important in maintaining the viability and structural integrity of bone. At the center of the osteon is the Haversian canal. These canals contain blood vessels and nerves. The blood vessels within bone facilitate the exchange between osteocytes and the blood. Trabecular bone is present in the interior of some bones and resists compression. Osteocytes are also contained within its structure and again play an important role in sensing local changes in strain. Trabeculae are covered in a layer of flattened lining cells that are thought to be involved in the dynamic process by which bone is formed and broken down. Bone is a dynamic tissue that is continually being built, broken down, and rebuilt in a process called bone remodeling. Bone tissue is broken down and resorbed by multinucleated cells known as osteoclasts. These cells are derived from monocytes which originate within bone marrow. Osteoclasts play an important role in liberating minerals and other molecules stored within the bone matrix. Bone tissue serves as a repository for vital minerals including calcium phosphate and various biologically active molecules, such as growth factors. The release of calcium from the bone can play a role in maintaining its homeostasis within the body. The cells responsible for building new bone tissue are known as osteoblasts. Osteoblasts are thought to be derived from cells found to be associated with blood vessels. Once active, they start to produce the organic component of bone, osteoid, which is predominantly made of collagen. Minerals start to crystallize around the collagen scaffold to form hydroxyapatite, the major inorganic constituent of bone, which contains calcium phosphate. Bone mineral density, or BMD, can be used to estimate the strength of bone and to assess the risk of fracture. As osteoblasts form new bone tissue, many become embedded within the matrix and differentiate into osteocytes. The structure, composition, and cellular processes that occur within bone allow it to simultaneously serve as a calcium reservoir, while providing structural support for the vital organs and for locomotion.
In total hip replacement, the prosthesis or implant is made of 4 components. The femoral stem is made out of metal, such as titanium, and is implanted down the shaft of the thigh bone or femur. The ball or femoral head is attached to the stem and is designed to replace the arthritic femoral head. The third part, or acetabular component, is a metal shell with a plastic inner socket liner. Each of these components is the result of years of engineering, research, and testing.
Then, when you are asleep, the surgical team will make an incision over the hip and along the thigh. The team will pull the skin aside to reveal the muscle tissue below. They will then make another incision to reveal the hip joint. Next, the team pulls the top of the thigh bone out of the hip socket. Using a precision surgical saw, your doctor will carefully remove the ball-shaped end of the thigh bone. Then the surgical team will use a high-speed drill to hollow out the top of the thigh bone. A specially fitted artificial ball joint slides into the top of the thigh bone. Next, your doctor will smooth the inner surface of the hip socket. Once the hip socket has been thoroughly cleaned, the artificial lining will be secured and placed with special screws. The artificial ball joint is turned inward and fit into the socket. The team carefully checks to make sure that it fits and allows the full range of normal motion. Muscle and other tissues are closed over the joint using dissolvable stitches. A temporary draining tube may be added. Finally, the skin is closed with sutures and protected with sterilized strips.
Free. My one request from the doctor was, because I am fairly active, that he keeps me in the game. I like to be out.
That's how it works on the human finger. It's visibly non-caustic and friendly to porous surfaces like your skin, though not recommended.
them a crossing guard. That's what I do. I have an exhilarating love for life. I have just an excitement about getting up every morning and thinking, what's ahead?